Hello, listeners. Welcome back for another interesting story. Leave your thoughts in the comment section.
Am I the a-hole for telling my kids that my mother-in-law hates me and that's why I'm not coming on our family trip? My husband 33M and I 31F have to 8-year-old twin boys. We both work full-time and my husband makes a little more than me, but just a little. We make enough to be financially secure. We can afford all the necessities and rent a 2-bedroom apartment, but we have never traveled, aside from weekend road trips, and probably won't be able to in the foreseeable future. My husband's family is quite well off. A few weeks ago, my mother-in-law called my husband and asked if he wanted to bring our kids to go on a trip with her. She apparently wanted to spend some time with her family. Her family, though, doesn't include me. She has always disliked me and never considered me part of her family, partly because I'm not religious. My husband is, but he respects my lack of belief, and also because she just doesn't like me. My husband knows this and hasn't ever forced me to interact with her, but he still talks to her occasionally. Anyhow, he told me that my mother-in-law had offered to pay for him and the boys to go on a 2-week trip with her around Thanksgiving time. I'm not invited. She said I'm not really her family, so she doesn't want to pay for me too. This is what she said, word for word, according to my husband. She knows that we cannot afford for me to pay to come on this luxury trip. She can afford it pretty easily herself. I was pretty upset about this, because I'd love a break too. But I understand that the kids will love this. So I said that of course they should go. I tried to be cheerful about it, but my husband understood that I was upset. He asked my mother-in-law specifically to please invite me too, so that we can have proper family trip. She reiterated that I might be his family, but I'm not her family. I told him not to push it, because I want my kids to have a good time without my husband and Mill fighting during the trip. But I've been feeling pretty angry about the whole thing. So yesterday, when my son asked me why I wasn't more excited about the trip, I told him I wasn't coming because his grandma hates me. I said this in a bitter tone. They were pretty upset to hear this. Later, my husband told me I was an a-hole for dumping my feelings on my kids and making them feel guilty about looking forward to the trip. He said I was ruining it for them and also ruining their relationship with my mother-in-law. They're pretty close. And that I'm being selfish. So do you think I'm in the wrong?
Here's my 2 cents. What in the bull crap is this? She is not the a-hole. How could they just take that blatant disrespect from her mother-in-law? Her sons asked why she is not excited on their family trip. She told them the truth and how their grandma hates their mom. Mother-in-law is weaponizing their inability to have extra funds for leisures. Her husband needs to put his foot down and deal with this BS. He shouldn't let his mom disrespect his wife like that, like she isn't part of the family. He should remember that he has his own family now to protect. Ultimately, they all need to talk this out or else it would only get worse. I would go low contact with her mother-in-law and see where she goes from there. Don't just accept any disrespect to her or her family. That's just my opinion. Here are the top comments.
No, not the a-hole. Mom and kids are a package deal. Why would you lie to spare his feeling when he's done jack shit to defend you?
Mother-in-law should not expect to have a good relationship with the grandkids when she disrespects their mother. Husband is more focused on the trip than the disrespect his mother is showing to his wife. Husband is the a-hole. Mother-in-law is too, obviously.
Exactly. Mother-in-law is an a-hole, but as she says, she isn't your family. OP's husband, however, is, and I can't fathom why he isn't standing up for her. Husband shouldn't have even agreed to the vacation. From the jump, he has condoned this behavior towards his wife and should be ashamed of himself.
Both OP and the husband need to grow a spine. Their children are growing up learning horrible lessons about how a family is supposed to be. Their future spouses will suffer because OP and the dad can't grow a backbone and put their foot down because grandmummy is rich.